This is Carlos Picks, and this is me answering a subscriber question. So every once in a while, I like to answer your questions, and the question of the day is, should I buy or should I lease? Well, that is the question. So, first of all, let me start off by saying cars are horrible financially. They are depreciating assets. Really, it's not a good idea to spend a lot of money on a car. In today's day and age, you can get a very reliable, pretty decent vehicle for much less than $20,000. There's no reason to really spend anything more than $20,000 on a vehicle, especially you got these reliable Japanese vehicles and things like that. So let's just start with that. And I'm a car enthusiast, and actually, you see me driving expensive cars. The only reason why I do that is because I'm a car enthusiast. If I was not a car enthusiast, you would not catch me dead in some overpriced $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, even worse, over $100,000. Like, no, total waste of money. Except if you're a car enthusiast, then it's a little bit different, and I'll cover that in another video. Now that we gotten that out of the way, and with that in mind, I definitely would steer more towards buying than leasing for sure, because leasing is a way to make something that's already pretty bad even worse. Because at least when you, no pun intended, at least when you buy a car, you can pay it off. If you're like me, live under your means, and you buy a car cash, or you buy something that you can pay it off in a year or two. I mean, my first car I paid off in much less than 2 years. I could have afforded a much more expensive car, but rather than do that and have this big note, I chose to get something that was fairly cheap but yet fun. I enjoyed it. It was very reliable, low cost of maintenance. I had no car note. Car insurance was cheap, and it was my car. I owned it free and clear. Such a great feeling to be debt free. So that, I think, is one of the best scenarios that you can have for something that's, again, pretty bad. And just when I say pretty bad, I'm just talking from a cost perspective. Again, depreciating asset. So you spend $50,000 on something that in 5 to 10 years is going to be worth like $20,000 or less. You got money to burn. And that's not including the cost of running it. Insurance, maintenance, fuel. It just goes on and on and on. So, main way, or the best way to make this even worse, there's two big things you can make this worse with. A lease. With a lease, so on top of all that money you're throwing away, at the end of it, you have nothing and you just walk away. And I know there's leases where you can buy at the end, but I just feel like it just generally doesn't really make financial sense. However, there are scenarios where it actually can make sense and also not make sense at the same time. Talk about a very expensive high-end vehicle, something like McLaren. So, McLarens are known to be not so reliable. They're also extremely expensive. So the liability of ending up with a McLaren out of warranty and having it break and having a $20,000 bill, that is just bad for business. So the lease is a perfect scenario to perhaps address that, because it's not your car, so you don't have to worry about dealing with stuff like that. So for a vehicle like that, I think in that scenario, a lease might actually make sense. But we're talking about a vehicle that costs way too much. Lease or no lease. So that's why I say it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Because, okay, yeah, fine. It makes sense from the perspective of you're taking away that liability of that $20,000 repair bill, but you're still spending thousands of dollars a month on a car. And that's just stupid. Again, unless you're a car enthusiast, that's a different story. But if you're not a car enthusiast and you're not some celebrity where it's a business thing, then to spend $150,000, $250,000, $300,000 on a car, That's just stupid. But that's my opinion. Sue me. Don't sue me, actually. Anyway, so the other scenario where it makes sense, and again, this is a makes sense but doesn't make sense scenario. If you like to change cars a lot, if you're the type of person that likes to buy this, in a couple years you're bored with it, now you want to buy something else, and then you're bored with it, you want to buy something else. Not really a good thing to be doing if you're buying cars, but if you're going to be doing like 1-year leases, 2-year leases, and also the final element, not just so you like to change cars, because you can do that if you're in the used market, and it can be, you know, a pretty decent deal. It can work out pretty good for you depending on, you know, if you're, you know, your choices in terms of what vehicles you pick up. But if you like to have a brand new vehicle, right? You bought a vehicle 2 years ago, now you want the latest and greatest thing. That is a perfect scenario for a lease. Because with lease, again, you do a 1-year lease, 2-year lease, you have this car, you enjoy it, and then at the end of the lease, you can go and pick up a brand new being, I know that was pretty bad, but anyway. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. Number one, don't buy a car unless you need to. So if you live in a city with a nice public transportation system, do that. If you're going to buy a car, or if you're going to get a car, buy it, don't lease it, and get something Japanese, used, maybe 3 years old, 5 years old. Honda, Toyota, brands like that. If you like to change cars every year or every couple years, go lease. If you're going to buy something like a McLaren that's going to break down on you, perhaps consider a lease. I mean, you can always buy it and then sell it before the warranty runs out, but I think the buyer of the car who would buy it from you is well aware of the warranty terms and how much is left, and he's going to factor that into how much he's going to pay you for the car. So, I don't know how that would quite work out, but that's up to you. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what your thoughts are. What do you think? Comment below and let me know. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell so you don't miss out on future videos. This is Carlisle's Picks, answering questions. And if you have a question, all you got to do is post it below, and whoever gets the most likes, I'm going to give you an answer. You may not like the answer because I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you like it is. But I will answer your question. So, question with the most likes gets answered right here on Carlisle's Picks. Thanks for watching, guys. By the way, I was supposed to do a video about German reliability, and my software crashed on me just before my deadline because I'm supposed to do a video every day. That was my commitment. Code word rubber. Anyway, that was my commitment to do a video every day for the next 30 days. And I had a nice video done. It was like 20 minutes long. I spent all that time recording it. It's close to 40 minutes recording it. Cut down to 20 minutes. Put the music in there. Added extra clips in there. And then it got corrupted. My software keeps doing that to me. It gets corrupted and then you can't. There's no way to recover it. You just lose the whole thing and have to start over. So I decided to answer a question, and that is this video. The substitute video, so I could get my video done today by the deadline. But this is a kind of interesting thing because yesterday's video I talked about life is not fair, and today again I worked late, and there was actually some issue with my commute getting home, making it even more of a delay. Then I come home, spend all this time recording the video, like this is my time to relax. I spent pretty much all my relaxation time doing my video, and then it crashes, right? Again, yesterday's video, life is not fair, right? You see, and it's, you can't make this stuff up. And it's just like, again, this week is just ending up being like a really, really tough week. Just busy, a lot of things not going my way, other things are. I also had some problems with, I'm going through physical therapy because I broke my finger last summer, and I started out this week pretty bad. I was getting really, really stiff, and but saw my therapist yesterday or today. It's all a blur and all sorted out. But anyway, that's my video. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.